are a 4 at best.
Guys aren't meant to see this many hot bitches.
Back in the olden days, they would see 200 baddies in their whole life. And now
In their whole life.
And now it's like they are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have conversations with my guy friends where I need to check them, where I'm like, you need to check yourself. They'll be like, oh, well, her hair wasn't perfect, or she didn't have like veneers, so I just didn't. And I'm like, you are a 4 at best. Like, this is insane. You think that you have access. They're so delusional. They think that
They're
they
so
can
delusional.
bag like these hot girls because there's so many hot girls on Instagram.
And then they do them dirty because you think you're going to get another batter, which it's like at one point we all start to even out, but also at the same time, it's like, this is my thing. I always say your resume is trash on paper and in real life.
Exactly.
Your resume is trash for you to be talking like this, sounding like this, and acting like you have so many options available to you.
No, it's crazy.
First of all, you can't look like that and have a trash resume and expect to bag a 10 every time. You're funny. You're not that funny.
You're a photo man, but you are average at best.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Nerd Chronicles with your host, the socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul speaking. And ladies and gentlemen, as I get myself prepared to have my new triple monitor screen setup that I will definitely post a photo up on in the coming weeks ahead based on YouTube and TikTok, I received an actual video that I actually looked at through Auburn Preach. Definitely shout out to them. And I took a moment to actually look into the original video to see who these two women are, and had that podcast on towards SiriusXM. And basically, these two women are playing the role of Kevin Samuels. In another case, they're literally being the female version of Kevin Samuels. And this is not to actually give any ill will towards these women at all. Absolutely not. I'm not here to belittle or actually trying to mean based on what they're doing. No. Like, from what I'm actually seeing, from what I've actually watched, from what they were explaining up in their podcast, there were some methods that they have discussed that I actually disagree with respectfully, that I do want to actually mainly get on here to actually discuss. And seeing, and with some of this stuff is definitely delusional, and I'll definitely discuss why that definitely is the case here. So before I actually get deep into the story, basically it actually discusses a key point of the podcast that is hosted by social media content creator, emerging TikTok superstar that has emerged since the 2020 COVID pandemic by the name of Tinx, right? Ciara Miller, in other words. She has the platform to host a podcast for SiriusXM that deals with relationships, dating, primarily for women, right? And I know Kevin Samuels mainly done the whole relationship stuff primarily for women as well when it comes to the high value lifestyle, definitely, if you will. So she has this guest, Ciara Miller, coming from Bravo Summer House, who hails from the Atlanta area, definitely resides in New York City. And they have a section of the clip, basically you see the clip talking about Kim Kardashian from the Menendez brothers, and what's a section of that particular clip mainly talks about their dating lives, and how women should act when it comes to men, and what men should do when it comes with dating, the whole 9 yards. And it is literally insane to the T. You're dealing with a case of two strong, independent, don't need a man women. I don't need a man women that's trying to really go on the femininity route. But there were some instances where they were actually exuding some arrogance and cockiness within that clip that we will be discussing literally right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a young woman. Before we actually get to the review that we have here, meet the host of the podcast up on SiriusXM, the 4 at best, Miss Tinx Ciara, best known as Tinx. Basically, she is a young lady who grew up in the TikTok scene. Basically, seeking advice when it comes to relationships and social skills and all these things. You see her definitely up with all the videos that you see up here below, and that's how she mainly blew up in the first place. So if we go back and we actually look into the background, basically she posted on TikTok during like the COVID pandemic. Basically, get the self-proclaimed TikTok's over sister self-proclaiming, which they actually give advice for relationships and mental health, even though she's literally 35 years old, right? And you see basically in the biography that you see here, you see all the information that's basically shown, basically with the influencer created and all that stuff. And she's doing the podcast stuff with SiriusXM for about 3 years, right? Now, she does have some crazy controversy though that we gotta talk about here, right?
Juicy.
She basically spews a bunch of liberal rhetoric, mainly up on the SiriusXM podcast. But behind the scenes, prior to her mainly blowing up, you see some of these little tweets here that came by, and some of them definitely reckless for sure. And this is when she was 22 years old, prior to her blowing up. And she out here trolling, gossiping, many years ago. So you have an idea of the mindset of who Tinx is, right?
Juicy.
So y'all see all this before, right? Okay.
Juicy.
Okay. A lot of gossip, conservative mindset as well. As what you see here. Definitely said for sure. All of these, you see where her mindset mainly is. Some juicy shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Juicy.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet 29-year-old, about to be 30-year-old Ciara Miller. Basically a model as well as a licensed and registered nurse from the state of Georgia up in Atlanta, who currently is from the Summer House hosted by Bravo, right? So you see her actually being a professional model, definitely at the time. And you see her background with modeling work as well as nursing. Most of the stuff here you see is modeling, but she does have a nursing background. Ladies and gentlemen, so we get to see what the TV series Summer House is about. Summer House actually takes place in which a group of friends share a summer house in the Hampton town of South Hampton, New York. That's basically in Long Island, New York. I'm basically from that NYC area. I know Long Island very well. I have family up in there. Basically, I've been to the Hamptons one time when I was actually very young. So I could relate to what actually really goes down there. And they do have a bunch of wealthy, rich people just living life, living lavishly. And some of them do have some secondary homes that they have up in the island. That for sure. On like the eastern tip where they have the Hamptons there, that's where you mainly find them at, right? So this here, it is ratchet and full on crazy.
Juicy.
Now, no more talking that. Let's go straight to the video. It's about to be juicy.
Juicy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we finally got ourselves set up in regards to a clip that actually discusses Tinx Ciara Miller actually being on Tinx's podcast on SiriusXM, in which they mainly discuss about dating in modern times up in real life. And I have some notes actually mainly prepared for this with my little portable monitor handy, thanks to Arzopa. I actually give a huge shout out to them in regards with this, in which I basically took notes actually watching the video for the first time on the female Kevin Samuels. I actually want to actually just go over in more of a discreet manner because, this type of topic can trigger a lot of people, mainly up in the streets. And not only can I use Arizopa just to actually review notes and prompts to actually start off, I can also use it as a portable monitor on the go when I bring my laptop for content creation, as well as analytical coding, whether it's Python, whether it's R. You definitely name it. It definitely builds it up right there for you to actually get your coding on and definitely get yourself set up with the RAM that you need to prepare, especially with video editing. So it's definitely a huge benefit for me to use the secondary mod to actually read the objective, as well as to look at the certain graphs to see whether or not, the CSV file that's actually given by the table needs to be cleaned out or it definitely needs to be edited. So this is a huge win for me getting this little airs up on monitor. And for those who are up in the tech space, those that actually understand math and science well, y'all definitely feel me on that. But those that don't, it's all good. At least this monitor actually can be very beneficial. You can definitely play video games on the go. It is a huge win-win. Now, I digress. Let's see what these two women mainly have to say about modern dating, in which both of these women are looking to play the next female Kevin Samuels. May God rest his soul. Let's get right to it. Y'all. Juicy shit, y'all.
Juicy.
I'm like,
No, it's tough. It's like it's the same with any person who lives their life online. It's like, how much do you give? And and you can feel resentful because, if you do give so much and then people are, go off on something, you're just like, what the hell? Like, I just am trying to give people the links they want for the dress or whatever. It's like, why is this becoming such a thing?
Yeah.
Do you think social media has made dating harder?
Mm-hmm. I think the show has made dating harder.
Yeah.
Social media has made dating harder. These aren't the same men that went to war. The pool is just, vile.
No,
Yeah, what I will say is a lot of people, I definitely will give her credit on this. A lot of people actually do feel delusional when they have everything mainly up in their hands because they want everything to mainly be as convenient as possible. But in regards to that, what we trade in, what we get, we give up actually developing social skills whenever we go out, whenever we actually try to conversate with people and actually have a more connection or an authentic or developmental connection that we mainly get whenever we deal with humans or whenever we deal with dates. That's something that's definitely lost in this when it comes to online dating, which could be a huge trade-off if you're not fully careful. And also, you could deal with some people that are definitely illegitimate. The photos may not say who they think they are. They may be recent, or they could be maybe from 5, 6, 7 years ago into what they currently look like at that particular moment. They may not have updated their profile as well as their photos. So that's another con in this in regards to the whole online dating ordeal as well. So I can understand where Ciara is coming from in this.
it's tough.
It's, I don't know what I'm doing out here. Honestly, lately I'm just like, if I'm alone for, the foreseeable future for a while, I could be cool with that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine actually sharing my one bedroom with anyone. Like, that to me is like, not in New York City.
No, it's crazy.
So, yeah, I'm convinced that for right now, I'm going to be alone and that's okay. And like, I'll date people, but like,
Where do you usually meet guys? Like apps?
I hate apps. Can I curse? I've been cursing.
Oh, stay cursing.
Okay. I have Raya, but that's like the only one. I do my little daily but
No, it's
what is wrong with Raya? Like, I think it's so awful. I'm not paying any more than the $20 I'm paying right now.
no, it's all apps are so bad. I'm actually thinking about deleting all of them because it's at the point.
You delete?
Yeah, or there's maybe this social dating, or even let me stress it. Maybe online dating is just not the right fit for that particular person. They better have actually going about and actually just hanging out and actually speaking with people rather than doing stuff in person and actually doing the online route. There's nothing really wrong with that. And there's also like some people who actually master online dating very, very well. And they do master both in person and online dating also. And they're actually living great lives because of that. So online dating, unfortunately, it's not for everybody.
And reload. Is that you?
No, I haven't, but I do long stints of not doing them.
Yeah.
And because I'm like, they don't really add to my life. They honestly make me feel more depressed, not about my own life, but about the state of the world. Like, I feel very depressed.
God.
Like, with the people that I see, they depress me. And, their stupid, boring prompts that they're answering, like, those
Stupid, boring.
bum me out. And then, like, I do once in a while go on a date from them, but I've never slept with someone from an app, let alone like dated them seriously. So it's like, clearly that's not my thing. Like, I've always met people in real life through friends at a party, whatever. So I'm like, why am I putting myself through this?
Right.
That being said, I do have several friends who have gotten married from apps, but it was back in the day.
Back in the day.
It was before. It was like 10 years ago or whatever. And now they're just like validation stations. People are just
Dopamine hits,
all wrong. I'm just kind of over them.
I met a girl last night. She met her boyfriend she's been dating for like 3 years now on Raya. And she's like, honestly, like, I wasn't expecting it. And she was like, I had given up And I was like, okay, so the key is to give up.
The key is to fully give up.
And then maybe I will find someone. But no, you're right. I just feel like there's so much access, and
it's
like
too much access.
Yeah, and
so many options.
Like, was it? Well, I feel like it was you that sent that.
I sent
TikTok.
you the thing.
Yeah,
no, because I wanted
like,
to discuss it. It's like,
yeah,
it's
guys aren't meant to see this many hot bitches. Like,
yeah, it was like back in the olden days. They would see 200 baddies in their whole life, and now
in
it's
their
like
whole life,
and now it's like they are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have conversations with my guy friends where I need to check them, where I'm like, you need to check yourself. They'll be like, oh, well, her hair wasn't perfect, or she didn't have like veneers, so I just didn't. And I'm like, you are a 4 at best. Like, this is insane. You think that you have access. They're so delusional. They think that they
so
can
fucking delusional.
bag like these hot girls because there's so many hot girls on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm stopping right there. Dating and rating people, rating women, rating men is subjective depending on the mindset of the person. There are some attractive people who will go out with like very obese people and actually sleep with them, men or women, even though they may be rated as 4s or 3s to society, right? And there are attractive women that I've personally seen that actually went out with dudes that are like 2s, 3s, and 4s on character scales, on looks, and even some combined. I've seen it actually happen, and they scored definitely men like this and actually bad them up. You know what I'm saying? It's not really more about the looks. It's more so mainly about the game and the charm and the inner confidence. And sometimes it could be about the character as well, depending on the mindset of that woman aligned with that particular mindset of the man. What one person may rate as somebody as a 4 could be another person's 10. What will be one man's 4 in that woman could be another man's 10. And vice versa. When one woman may rate one man as a 4, could be another woman's 10, or it could be another woman's 8. It is not fully objective. It is fully subjective per person, depending on his or her mindset. Which is why both of these women that you see up in that podcast are very, 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 very delusional when it comes to dating in regards to that aspect.
And then they fucking do them dirty because you think you're gonna get another bitch who's badder. Which it's like at one point we all.
There's always gonna be somebody else always gonna be bad in you, regardless. Always, man or woman.
Start to even out, but also at the same time, it's like you. This is my thing. I always say your resume is fucking trash on paper and in real life.
Exactly.
Your resume is trash for you to be talking like this, sounding like this, and acting like you have so many options available to you.
No, it's crazy.
I was like, first of all, you can't look like that and have a trash resume and expect to bag a 10 every time.
Some do, and then there's some don't. You know, if you're not really interested in that type of person that you really want to be around, that actually just showing off that he all high and mighty, just ghost him. You ain't gotta go and actually try and show him and actually try to usurp him and actually pull down his ego. There's no need for that. Just ghost him. Ghost him without warning. You gotta do all that stuff that Ciara is actually mainly explaining here. There's no need for that shit. None at all.
Funny. You're not that fucking funny.
No, it's
like at all.
It's the audacity. The audacity is crazy. I just feel like it's so imbalanced. Like, I know so many hot girls who are really funny, smart, and cool. Like,
and have great resumes.
And have great resumes.
But again, what one people may view as great resumes, like other people may not see it that way, depending on the mindset. As I've said before, it all comes down to character. It all comes down to humility, and definitely comes down to the mindset of that particular person, right? Humility will go a long way, literally later on in life, rather than arrogance would. Showing that you're all bad and showing that, sitting them in them, I don't need a man. My career comes first. You got to put more effort to keep me around. All that stuff, thinking really all that, and actually showing arrogance, you will not go that far having that type of mindset with men. Humility, in regards of what stage you're at in life as a woman, and definitely as a man, will definitely get you very far when it comes to relationships. And I guarantee you that.
And I meet like so many. I every time I go out, I feel like I meet a girl where I'm like, you're so cool. Like you're amazing.
Yeah.
And I just do not have that experience with men. Even
guys.
in a friend way. Like I'm just like, I don't meet that many men where I'm like, whoa, I'm blown away by you.
Right.
I meet girls all the time where I'm like, you did what? Like you're a nurse and a model and you're on TV. And I'm like, and also like, what? And I just don't run into guys who are like doing all that.
Yeah. And notice how the confidence, like girls, and we still are like second guessing ourselves
all the
and
time.
having imposter syndrome.
No, it's crazy.
And I was like, and this guy's walking in with a piss poor resume, not that cute, and like confidence off the charts. I'm like,
and the women will still sleep with that type of man for sure, because they look into the confidence and see that he can mainly do everything and actually tackle on and instead of the world. He can look really, really shitty, and then some women will actually still sleep with that man. Guaranteed.
like, which is fine. Honestly, I'm happy that you have that confidence, but somebody's got to knock you off your pedestal a little, because
that is absolutely unnecessary. What Ciara is actually mistaken, she's mistaken confidence for cockiness, right? Even if homeboy is actually mainly being cocky, right? You don't even need to do all that stuff and actually try and knock him down, actually try and belittle him, and actually try and belittle his ego just to boost yourself up. That actually shows the level of insecurity on Ciara's part. What she should have said was she should have mainly walked away, and she should have just ghosted him without warning and just let him be and let him live his life. That's the best way to handle something like this. Because what she's sounding similar to some of these red pill gurus, and especially with Andrew Tate, saying that, oh, you gotta try and manipulate, fuck a woman just as you're trying to show dominance and try to manipulate her, saying, oh, I got the upper hand.
You can never show emotion and let her and like, because she wants you to flip out and say you stupid bitch or whatever, so that she can feel better in her head. Women are amazing at hamstering out rationalizations for their poor behaviors. You can't give her the ammo to do it.
100%. Let me tell you some Apex. We're gonna talk dark triad shit. Let me tell you some dark triad shit.
Hey, like the video, by the way, motherfuckers. Like you guys this goddamn game. Y'all getting a lot of
David
sauce.
Buss, listen up.
Do you know what girls are more scared of than losing a man they like? They're more scared of having the man they like, but he doesn't like her anymore. So what will happen if I put a girl in those kind of scenarios and she doesn't act right or doesn't make the right choice? What I will do, instead of actually getting rid of her, I'll keep fucking her. I'll fuck her different. So instead of, there's no kissing anymore. You understand? You understand?
He's not doing that thing anymore.
She's gonna feel it different.
Yeah.
And afterwards, she's gonna be like, "You don't love me anymore, do you?"
Where's this going?
You've threatened intimacy.
Yeah.
You've threatened intimacy.
And she's gonna get. It's no longer intimate on any level. She got fucked, and then afterwards, she'll be like trying to give me a hug. I'll be like, "Oh wait, I've got to go out." And I'm going to change on such a small level that will hurt her more than even losing you. The reason guys can't do that is because if they fuck a bitch again, they fall back in love like a pussy. I won't do that. But there's been scenarios where a girl hasn't acted quite right over something small, not a big transgression like cheating. Then I continue to see her, but my demeanor towards her changed. And my demeanor towards her didn't change much in day-to-day life, right? But it changed when we had sex. And she smelt it and she could feel it. And it hurt her bad. And she got her ass in line fast. He used to kiss me. He used to hug me afterwards. These small things. You go from all that nice shit to just fucking her like she's, but not in a good way like she's nothing. In a bad way like she's nothing. The real G's know what I'm saying here. There's a difference. There's a difference.
And you'll speak to this about, it's because in that moment you have her in her most vulnerable place.
That's right. That's right.
That's
women are most programmable. Because all women are programmed, and I want to say this. Maybe I'll be a misogynist now.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I said this in another podcast. I believe that men are more capable of independent thought because I believe that men are more evolved for battle and war. So if we had an idea which nobody else agreed with, we're more capable of defending it. We've evolved to saying, no, the sky's blue, it's not green. Okay, pull a sword out. We'll defend our idea. Women don't have the capability to defend themselves or their ideas. So they're going to go along with an idea they heard from somebody else in general, right? So all women are programmed. Women are programmed. They're either programmed by society as a whole, or if they're with a good man, they're programmed by the good man. That's basically where the programming comes from as a whole. So all women are programmed on some level. And I think with especially during sex, that's when women are most programmable because they're most vulnerable. Like if you get a bitch and she's just about to come and you start saying in her face, "I'm gonna cheat on you, you fucking slut," and she comes while you say you're gonna cheat, she's going to end up getting horny next time you cheat. I know it sounds crazy. I know everyone's going to look at me and go, Tate's talking shit.
Nah, you're
but
right,
I'm
bro.
telling you, it's fucking true.
Operant conditioning.
Tate's talking facts.
It's true.
He's talking straight facts.
It's true. And especially sex as a man is a weapon you need to use. You have to deny it. You have to give it. You got to give it good.
Yep.
You got to give it bad. You got to use it right. And when I say there's ways you can fuck her like she doesn't mean anything in a way that she enjoys, and ways you can fuck her like she doesn't mean anything in a way she doesn't enjoy. The G's of the game know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dick, bro.
And you could do that gradually over time. If she ain't acting right, you can change the way you fuck a bitch to make her start to get insecure about he doesn't actually care. He doesn't actually like me. And that will shock them.
Yep.
You have moves you can make, but you gotta be perspicacious. You gotta pick up on her attention and you gotta act accordingly. And that's some dark triad shit. But I'll tell you, before I fuck a bitch, literally I'm laying there going, giving a full status report of her last few weeks. I'm loading up the Excel in my head. Was the house clean? Was this done? All right, okay, I'll give her this version. All right, bitch. You gotta be ready for it.
Andrew, just after that as well, you know what I do, bro? If I wanted to like change the optics a little bit too, instead of coming, I won't come. I'll hold back. And she's like, "Wait, what's wrong? I'm not feeling it today.
I'm good.
I'll just move on like normal." She's fucked. She's like, "Wait, you're not coming anymore?
Yeah.
Am I not good enough?"
Yeah.
That's when you get
another
her.
one.
I want to add this
but I
little
want to
thing
get you
for the
off.
guys.
Exactly.
I need the men that are watching right now. I need you guys to understand. I know you guys, this is all crazy concepts. Don't pedestalize women, etc. I'm going to take it a step further. You guys need to know that women can only be happy if they're serving a man. I'm going to say that again. I don't go fuck what nobody says. Hit me with the goddamn.
How dare you?
Women are creatures that can only be happy if they're serving a man that they love, admire, and respect. This is why these career women that are single with cats and dogs are never fucking happy. Women don't derive this.
You don't need to do none of that shit. Just walk away and let him be. Just like same with the woman. You know, if a woman doesn't really actually show respect and then she actually gets all high up and mighty, you gotta do all the crazy weird stuff to actually try to show dominance. No, just walk away and ghost them and let them be on their way and let them move on from your life. You know what I mean? Let people play it with toys. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot the word I was gonna say as well. I know it's a lyric from Outkast that I actually wanted to discuss. Let people actually play games. Let bygones be bygones. Let people be created while you graduate and move on. You know what I'm saying? Let strangers play while you graduate, while you move on. Just that simple.
The almighty.
No, truly. Are most of your friends in relationships or single? And is it different in New York and Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta relationships. Everyone's in relationships. Maybe except like one or two, and then here, like my best friends, like are a married couple, and honestly, yeah, like our New York group, everyone's in a relationship.
Damn, is that hard?
And
I feel like it's hard to be the only single one sometimes.
Well, it's funny because there's like another single guy, so it'll be me and him, and I'll just be like, okay,
yeah.
Well, like we went to a wedding in LA, in California a couple weeks ago, and literally everyone was married. Yeah. Everyone was married or in serious relationships, and I was like going to talk to like the bride's parents and whatnot, and I was like, oh my God, so happy we're da-da-da. And she was like, oh my God, who are you dating? She's like, oh my God, we should get you. She was like, we're going to find you the one. But it was literally every conversation that I was having with people. And it wasn't even, I love her family, the sweetest. But it's like every conversation that I had with everyone at that wedding. And I told them I was single. They were like, oh my God, you should date the one other single guy here at this wedding. I was like,
it's so offensive when people do that.
I'm not. Also, I already dated him, but second of all, I was like, I'm not sad. I'm fine. I was doing fine until you were like, oh,
no. People patronize single women so much, and it's actually crazy. I go to so many weddings, and that they're like, oh, are you still single? And I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, there's one guy. He's over there. He's single. And I'm like, okay, this isn't musical chairs.
No,
like,
literally.
I don't get why you would think that I would automatically want to date him just because he's single. That's literally insane.
No.
And I bet you they're not saying that to the guy, which is the most frustrating thing.
I literally pulled my best friend aside and go, am I crazy? Because I've had 5 different people try to set me up with this guy at this wedding who's in our friend group. So obviously I know him. What?
No,
also,
crazy.
I know for a fact, are people bringing up me to him like this? I wonder. Because honestly, my resume is better than his too. So what? Like,
I know.
Yes, again, she's showing definitely arrogance. I know she's trying to show confidence, but actually trying to show that you actually better than actually somebody and all this stuff, and he may actually see it in a different way. What that breeds is cockiness and arrogance. And men like this, and then like whenever you see actually confident men that actually truly know their worth, and actually show saying, hey, I can knock somebody actually down, and they feel like, oh, I'm better than this, and they don't fully show humility. These are the types of men that are going to actually leave women like Ciara mainly hanging. And you wonder why they've been mainly struggling with dating like most of the time. Because of that. Is again, straight from cockiness as well as arrogance, and not fully humbling themselves whenever it comes to the social world.
Oh, and the worst thing is I don't even think guys like care about our resume. That's the crazy part.
They don't, no.
They literally, it's like a primal thing. They're like yes or no, and that's what's so weird and sad. And
Again, it all depends on the mindset of the person. It all depends on subject. Even some women don't even care about resumes when it comes to men too, as well. You know what I'm saying? Some women don't. Not every woman thinks that way the same way that Tinx and Ciara do. That's the reality of it. That's the real red pill of the situation right there.
I was having dinner with my guy friend this past week, and he's successful. He's a catch for sure. And I was like, he was like, do you have anyone to set me up with? And I was like going through all my girlfriends, and they're like, I was like, she is like, went to school here, and she's this, and she's a lawyer. I have this one, and she's like an exec here. And it was just, can I see their Insta? Can I see their Insta? Can I see their Insta?
No.
And I was like, dude, like you are
can I see their Insta?
Yeah, beauty is the eye of the beholder. And also, it's not really about the status. And yes, education is definitely a huge plus because you definitely build on when it comes to relationships. But also is also the character. You know, the one thing that's definitely not measured in Instagram as well as degrees and profession. That's also something that's not even discussed as well.
I was like,
but past a certain point, do you realize like you have to have a conversation with these people at the end of the day? Like,
No.
you have to be able to like.
and also it is just a vibe at the end of the
Yeah,
day. Like there has to be a vibe
totally.
between two people. And like I do believe in setups. I've had boyfriends from setups, but in order to do a good one, you actually have to think, will these people mesh? Like, could they get dinner? Could they talk? Is there energy? Is there chemistry? Because at the end of the day, it's not just like a list. And I think that that's what dating apps get wrong is that you can say, oh, this person likes
Agreed.
dogs, goes to the beach.
They don't measure character. They don't measure mindset. And sometimes they don't even measure humility within people. Because again, dating apps and dating companies, they have various different algorithms on how they measure matches. And some things they actually get right and some things they get wrong, which is the unfortunate reality when it comes to that.
And likes music and think that you're automatically gonna
be a
work.
match,
It's
yeah.
like that's literally insane. That's not how humans work at all.
Correct.
That's not how we work for friends. Why would that be how we work for? It's just like it's ridiculous.
Correct.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'd love to trash dating apps. Like, I just also take some of the pressure off. Like these apps, it's
Also, people
have fun with them.
Have fun with them. If you're, do it for a few minutes a day, whatever. But if people act like we have gotten rid of bars, like. You know what I mean? Like, there's still bars, there's still dinner parties, there's still coffee shops, there's still parties with friends.
Yeah.
Don't think that just because we are on our phones the whole time, just put your phone down and look up. Like, it's just about being flirty in real life.
What's your view on, like, do you feel like girls should approach, guys should approach, like, trick them? Like,
I will say that I know a lot of men out there are confused on if they're allowed to.
They're so confused. Why are they so confused?
I don't know. I think you guys can still hit on us. Just do it in a respectful way.
Right.
We absolutely still want to be hit on in bars. It's just doing it in a respectful way. I think also it's a lot about energy. Like I am so cognizant that sometimes I have resting bitch face and I can look very standoffish. If I'm at a bar, like you look over and I'm hunched over with my friend.
Totally.
I look like a witch over a cauldron and I'm like, okay, no wonder no guys are coming up to me. But I wish more guys would approach and just be like, hey, what's up? Just be respectful. It's not that difficult. And honestly, I don't buy the thing where guys are like, oh, I don't even know. Are we allowed to hit on you anymore? No. Yes. Just like use your brain and don't be like gross about it.
Correct.
Yeah. And I'm like, I get like guys are also afraid of rejection.
For sure.
But
Absolutely.
We all are.
Yeah. We all are. And I'm definitely not the girl that's like, approaching guys left and right, which that's like been like a New York versus like this my southern upbringing where I'm like, I can't bring myself to like waltz over to a guy and be like, hey, what's up? Like, I can't do that. And I'm even working, like, my girlfriend talks about, like, being in your feminine energy and just, like, making eye contact. Like literally putting your shoulders back, making yourself physically open for someone to approach you. And she was like, you're doing your part just by doing that. That makes it easier for them, because she's like, rejection is a thing, but
it's part of the game.
Guys are also not approaching as
much
back in the olden days. Not like we were there.
Hey, I tell you, man, I tell y'all, I'm not the only socially guy that's out there. I'm the socially nerd right here. It comes to find out, I'm actually not the only one that's actually lurking up in these streets. We got some famed influencers that are definitely as socially awkward as me. Maybe even worse, I don't know. But hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the family, babe. Welcome to the family, ladies. You know, gladly appreciate it. And I'm very happy that y'all are there.
But
can we talk about the feminine energy thing? Because I have the hardest time being in my feminine energy. Like, I want to step into it more, but I'm just so like, I'll take care of myself energy. And I need to stop, but I literally don't know how to tap into it.
It's like when you have been single and you live alone and you provide for yourself and like you actually don't need anyone and you can do all those things and you
don't need a man. Hey, you know, and what we're seeing here is that Tinx and Ciara are actually in them phase. Song independent, don't need a man. I don't need a man, and they do want to actually try and make it to be more feminine, which, you know, I do actually appreciate that to actually be a start, which I am very, very grateful for. But we'll definitely see it in action to see where it actually comes up. But at least they're admitting that. That's definitely a start for sure.
So do I pretend?
I am like the same way. I'm very independent, but I recognize that there's like a hyper independence where like if you don't make room for someone to be in your life,
that's true,
then like you have to make room for men because they're soft and they're sensitive. Sorry guys, but like you have to make room for them. Like you have to make them feel like, you know, they can add value to your life. And honestly, there is shit that I don't want to do.
And it all starts with actually starting being humble and not being arrogant and not being too cocky. It starts right there. You get rid of the arrogance, get rid of the cockiness, stay humble as best you can, as much as you can. You'll go a lot farther.
So there is something that somebody
I have
can do
light
for me.
bulbs that need to be changed.
Right.
Okay. There are suitcases that need to be dragged.
No.
And like
that's so me. When
like,
I'm around my friends, like my New York friend group, I love because they like the guys in the group. No, Ciara's not carrying her bags. Ciara's probably not putting her card down. I will Venmo after, but
Or are the ladies mainly looking for a simp?
Juicy.
That's the other question as well. Because again, you know, those dudes that they're mainly looking for, they're actually confident, you know, they're definitely aren't shells of themselves and have a backbone. They are not going to tolerate any childish disrespect from any woman whenever women actually try and pull some fast ones. I could definitely say that.
not putting my card down. Also, like, if there's something I'm very, like, they're like, oh, she's a princess. Yeah, I am to you. To you, I am. Yeah, because there's things that you should be doing
Of
just
course.
to be chivalrous also. Like, and I love being like, oh my God, the service here is so great when, like, the guys are carrying my bag or whatever. But even, like, a guy that I'm dating, I'm like, okay, you can take my trash out. Like, okay, do this. I will make up bullshit stuff just for them to do. Just to, like,
guys
make
love
them,
doing little errands for you.
but they really do love doing tasks for you.
I know.
Literally,
It's so nice.
a guy that I used to date.
As long as you treat us with respect, that's definitely the most important part. We don't mind helping you doing the little things. That's for sure.
Still sent. Oh my God, he's in our friend group. I still make him do little tasks.
Hell yeah.
Like, when we were in California for the wedding, I texted him. I was like, I might.
But some of these women that they will actually try to do, they'll try and do some of these friend tasks for you and do like all these little mini favors, you know, even before they have you come in doing like all these relationship things, but they won't even actually come in to actually ain't dang, you know, whenever they're not interested, they'll definitely try to use you for that, but they won't actually give you the lot of time to actually commit you into a serious relationship. That can happen as well. There's another trick in that as well that, you know, some of these women will mainly play. So you got to be really, really careful with that. So I can't really fully trust them all the way when it comes to all that stuff because I got to see that stuff in action. Whenever actually those women actually find someone that's definitely attractive, how would they react whenever you see a man that they deem attractive they actually want to get with and actually they want to commit to? how would they respond and how would they react? That would be the big question right there.
Need a favor. And like, but I'll see depending on like how I'm feeling. He texted me the next day and was like, what's up? Do you still need the favor? And I was like, yes. Like,
but are you going to date him is a question.
Juicy.
Yeah. Follow up. Because,
follow through.
You know, I don't know. Feminine energy. I'm a big believer in like, sometimes just relax. And like had to tell myself to like literally relax and let someone else do it. It's not going to be done exactly how I want it to be done. But that's okay.
It's so true.
You know,
let someone else do it for you. I know I need to like unclench my asshole and a little bit do that more because I'm so like, I'll do it. I'm like, if you want anything done, do it yourself. But sometimes it's so nice just
but
be
like start with the most minuscule task.
Yeah. And just let them. I know.
Or it's just like, oh, I love flowers.
Yeah. I know. The guy I was seeing this summer was actually really good at that because he was very masculine and he was very like, he was good at doing the task. He was like, oh, I'll take out the trash. You know, that stuff goes a long way, you guys.
Long way.
Just doing that stuff, like picking up something heavy, like moving, you know, getting the suitcase, whatever it is, just do that. It goes a long freaking way. Because independent girls, we need that treatment too.
Independent girls, when they actually say that they're just, when you talk about independent, they don't really need a man for anything. That means they can try and do anything by themselves. In reality, they're not really fully independent. They actually do rely on interdependence. So, whether it's a dependent girl or independent girl, independence definitely need the world. Definitely, women do need some interdependence when it comes with certain tasks, when they're definitely winning other women as well as winning other men, especially in relationships. The goal is not to maintain independence or maintain dependence, but the main goal in relationships is to maintain interdependence at the end of the day. And that's how they should frame it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a boss doesn't mean I don't want the door open for me.
And I am a gentle princess.
I'm a gentle,
and also a boss.
I swear to God, the most hyper independent girls who are boss bitches were the most sensitive inside.
So I'm a crybaby.
Oh my God, me too.
The biggest crybaby. And it's like I can't do it all by myself. But
but yeah, here trying to show a front saying that you can't do it all by yourself. You see what happens when you're actually trying to show humility rather than showing arrogance and cockiness? It can take you a long way, but you have to start with being more humble in order for all these things to work, and relying on interdependence rather than independence or dependence in order for these things to actually happen for men and women.
I don't wanna. And honestly, power to the female, all of that. Like, have a baby by yourself and do whatever fits for your life. But at the end of the day, I really don't want to do this shit by myself my entire life. I don't.
No, for sure.
I don't. And I'll make that very clear. Like, but also, I also had to like relax on that. But being in New York makes a dog out of you. Like, makes you a fighter, you know?
Well, that's the thing, is it will take a hyper independent girl and it hardens you.
Yeah.
Humbles
in a way
you.
that is really cool, because then you go out to other places in the world and you're like, wow, I am so capable. I can do anything. And it does really build your self-confidence, but it makes you it had that hard shell.
Yeah.
So it's both. I don't know.
And maybe you need a guy that's like, sit down. I don't care. Like, can like kind of tell you what to do a little bit to a certain extent. That's what I love.
That's all I've ever.
And tell them to actually do it respectfully, and then they actually give reason by it. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. But again, you ain't gotta do what Marvin Gaines is doing, saying, "Oh, sit down, bitch. What the fuck are you doing?" You ain't gotta do all that. Just be respectful. Give reasoning. You know, explain the reasoning by that, and definitely have like put trust in her that she's actually gonna make the right decision. And if she doesn't, that's all. Just quietly walk away. You know what I'm saying? But still be respectful and still be discreet.
Wanted is a guy to be like, that's enough. Like, I'm like, because I don't have that in my everyday life, and in my everyday life I am very dominant and what have you, and it's like, I always use this example, but like, whatever you think about her, like, think about Taylor Swift. She's like a billionaire. She's probably one of the most popular performers in the world. Who did she end up dating? Someone who is super masculine, who's kind of like out-alphaing her, and it kind of makes sense why that works, because she probably wants to feel, she's probably so tired of feeling like the most important person all the time. And I'm not saying that Travis is more important than her, but I'm saying that like dynamic of feeling like,
right.
You know, you've seen all those videos of her like running into her arms and like feeling like
just like the little girl, like
exactly.
That's like all that.
That's all we
want. We all just kind of go back to like our child self, and like, it is like you want a protector,
to be taken care of.
Yeah, you want a protector, and you want a provider, and like So I get that. It's just we just gotta chill out.
We gotta chill.
Hey, juicy.
Juicy.
Hey man, and sooner or later they're gonna be following that Kevin Samuels rhetoric. You know what I mean? Going whole, high value, whatever it is, buy a dog, die alone, all that other crazy shit that comes on in there, you know. But I do wish the best for both of these ladies, and definitely best of luck to them for sure. And we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna get my final analysis on this, definitely in a wee bit. Juicy. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, what have we learned after watching that video with Tinx and Ciara Miller? Right? And I'm looking based on the prompt that I'm looking at in regards throughout this whole little deal. And based on what I basically found out, you know, it's a start that they're actually wanting to admit that they're trying to change and they're trying to mature, which is actually a good start. But I do have some questions definitely in regards to this, you know. Are they going to show all of that stuff in action? Yes, you know. Men should always be courteous and men should always be chivalrous definitely to women for sure. Not just actually get that particular woman, just mainly for themselves and a proper character. They should definitely be able to treat everybody with respect, definitely both men and women. Now, the big question is, are the women that actually have that respect, like once they actually receive that respect and then receive that gratitude from the man, the question is, will she be able to actually reciprocate that respect back to him? Right? Just because you do all these little small stuff and small favors doesn't really fully guarantee that you're going to have a relationship with that particular woman. And that's my thing here. So the moral from what we've learned is that many of us, men and women, are very, very, very social awkward when it comes to the social world. And that includes myself as well. Some of us, at least men and women, are very, very delusional when it comes to dating preferences and what they want. And basically their expectations and mindsets are subjective and they can evolve and change over time. Right? So you can't really just limit yourself into a particular group or into a particular box. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself all worked up and you're going to put yourself in a worse position mentally and psychologically when they're not acting with people socially. Right? That's another big one there as well. And yes, not everybody has the same mindset. You know, I have a different mindset than everyone else. You can't really try and label yourself as red pill this, blue pill this, feminist this, you know, MRI this, all that other bullshit. You know, you don't want to actually try and put yourself in that box because of that, due to the fact that everyone is unique in their very, very own way. And there are some people who have very, very iffy personalities and, you know, iffy situations. They do have stresses and traumas behind the scenes, either growing up or definitely current, that we know nothing about, which is very, very unfortunate. And I do have the same issue also, which I do have to be very careful. I need to do a better job of actually being more discreet towards certain people, especially strangers, on how to better generate conversation and actually trying to have a little bit of humor while maintaining professionalism at the same time, which is what I need to do better moving forward. And I understand everybody is the same, and if they actually have somebody has some flack, I apologize and then I move on. I let them be. I don't actually try and force the issue. I let them go, and I do my best to actually try and make sure I actually stay proper as the best way I know how and as best as I can. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you know, what we just saw mainly is the opposite spectrum of the Manosphere. You know, I don't even want to say it's like red pill for women. Some may say it's pseudo red pill. That I just don't really know. But my thing is, though, you're dealing with like just subjective preferences within certain women. And again, some women will bang actual fours that have been raised by other women, and they literally mainly take them home, pipe them out due to the fact they have a great mouthpiece, or their confidence is mainly skyrocketed, or maybe too cocky, and the woman may be naive at first, mistaking the cockiness or arrogance as confidence, which could be very, very unfortunate until some trauma that may happen, basically due to a breakup, but God knows what happens, that may wake that woman up definitely years down the line. And it definitely did happen with some of my close female friends at the time as well. Old elder at that, mind you. So I do want to actually try and close out with this. Learn, experiment, get yourself comfortable. Don't rely on online dating maybe too much. If you're really great with that, at the end of the day, you're still gonna have to actually meet that particular person in person. You're still gonna have to vet people, which is extremely important. You have to make sure that you actually overcome your social anxiety by going out as much as you can and actually talking to people as much as you can. And that'll be the best base for you to have when it comes to a relationship. And, with that old stuff, and I don't want to try and actually sweep myself off topic, because, there are some women who definitely prefer simps, for sure, and actually love to be with simps. But, when it comes with simping and hardcore simping,
we like simps around here. I like a simp. Tell me all day that you want me. Tell me all day that you need me. Tell me all day literally everything I want to hear. I want that forever. Come here, baby. Come here. Let's go get dinner.
At the end of the day, many women do not respect simps at all. They will literally treat them as pushovers due to the fact that simps have zero backbone whatsoever. And that's the unfortunate part about it. But, if it's a preference and that's where they want to live, that's fine. Some may grow up from that phase, or some may not grow up from that phase, or don't even want to admit they want to grow up, or don't even want to change or fully hold themselves accountable at all. You will deal with some women like this as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of, you have to make sure you thoroughly humble yourself and thoroughly do a deep self-reflection of where you went wrong and what you need to do moving forward by experimenting more and actually getting better over time. But it all starts with having humility rather than having arrogance and cockiness. Because humility will go a long way over arrogance and confidence any day of the week, and men can easily sniff that out if they truly value themselves, if they actually treat themselves high self-worth, if they treat people respectfully, if they've been around the social block many times, they can sniff these things out within women. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, ladies, if there's any deep issues or deep personal traumas, definitely please seek professional therapy. Definitely seek professional help from a mental health specialist or a psychiatrist actually trying to help you out. If you definitely need some help in regards to that, if you need definitely insurance assistance, speak with your insurance provider in regards with that. But, if you need professional help, definitely speak with a mental health therapist or a psychiatrist or even a mental health specialist, and they'll be able to give you the ropes. Should insurance be able to actually approve your visit, or if you won't actually pay out of pocket, that's definitely as fine as well. Just make sure you please thoroughly get your head right. And gentlemen, you're not immune from the situation either.
You guys care a lot about tone. You guys care a lot about these things that, quite frankly, aren't important.
Oh, well, your language is a little problematic. Oh, well, do you really have to use that kind of rhetoric?
Shut the fuck up! We don't care! We're not fucking politicians! People are gonna call me an asshole no matter what I do, so I don't give a fuck! I call it like it is!
Byron,
could you be a little bit nicer when you talk about them boys? Can you be like a Dave Smith? No!
Hey, Byron, why don't you refine your message a little bit?
No!
Hey, well,
Rolo's really good at, using academic language when he talks to the women and stuff like that on Access Vegas. Why don't you... No! I will tell these women that they're stupid bitches. I will make fun of them boys and call them certain terms. I will call these people maggots. Alright? I will use racial slurs. I will use derogatory language. And I will continue to be as offensive as I need to be to get this fucking message across. Because playing nice with these people doesn't work anymore. I'm taking the kid gloves off and I'm putting the fucking boxing gloves on. Because that's the only thing that they understand. You gotta beat them into a fucking pulp with logic, reasoning, and facts, and sometimes abrasive language.
Women do not care about your feelings. Yeah. Zoom in. Yeah,
Well, one more time.
fantastic.
Okay, listen to me.
Oh my God, this is great.
Women do not, I don't care how much they ask you about it. Women do not care about your feelings.
Not at all.
They do not think that because your ex, their don't get wet because your ex cheated on you. They do not care about, stop qualifying yourself. They do not care about your feelings. So stop going overboard with that. Unfortunately, and I'm gonna tell you this, as a man, you are going to be judged on your performance for the rest of your life. Women too are judged on their performance. Like I had a commander, I had 2 female squadron commanders when I was in the Air Force. But women can also be judged on their physical appearance, whereas men, to a certain extent, unless you're a model or a male stripper, you're not going to be judged on your physical appearance as much. You're going to be judged on your performance for the rest of your life. This is the reason why 56% of the marriages in this country are end in divorce, and 80% of those divorces are initiated by
women.
That's the reason why, okay? Because we as men have to continue to perform. We get fat, we lose our job, and then all of a sudden we grew apart. That's essentially what women tell their friends, because it's hard. It's very difficult. I do not believe in unconditional love. I don't think it exists. That's just my opinion.
There's 2 types of meme coins. There's organic meme coins that are made and sustained by a community and organically pushed up. And then there's something called cabal coins, which is like, this is a VC group. It's a venture capital group. They put together a bunch of marketing. They put together a whole team, and they have the intentions to pump this thing. Rat is a cabal coin. PNUT is a cabal coin, and the cryptocurrency community does not like cabal coins because it's non-organic. They're not seen as cool. Some of the coins that are at the top right now that are non-cabal coins. PopCat is a non-cabal meme coin. Fog is non-cabal coin.